Hello, my name's Ben Brain. Today I'm going to show you how we can create a simple animation from this sequence of shots using Adobe Photoshop so that it looks something a little bit like this. And as you can see, these shots are all married together in reverse to create a chocolate bunny out of a melted mass of chocolate. Okay, so let's get started and see how it's done. So the first thing we want to do is to just pop over to Bridge and select our start images, bunny underscore start. What I'm going to do is just do Control A to select all of those images, right click and then just open in Camera Raw. Even though we shot small JPEGs, we can still process these images in RAW, and it's a great way of making global adjustments to all your images. So let's just again select A so that we know that everything is selected down the right hand side here. We can even do some nice little tweaks. We can straighten our horizon if it happens to be just a little bit off. I'm going to just crank up the clarity there, the exposure just a little bit, the contrast, give it a bit of punch, and of course some vibrance. I think the exposure just went a little bit too much there, so let's just bring that back down. And the brightness. Can even add a little bit of a post-crop vignette. Anyway, you get the picture. We can make our global adjustments, and you can just see as we scroll down here that it's just working its way through and making those adjustments to all of those images. So that's a great way of making your global adjustments to a bunch of images. So I've got those already prepared here. So let's just cancel out of this and go to my Choc Bunny images here, which you can see have all been nicely prepared just as I've shown you. Okay, now let's quickly minimize the bridge and go over to Photoshop. And first of all, we want to create a new document. So File, New, and I've already punched in the dimensions. This is the exact dimensions of our bunny image, and we just need to make sure that they're in there. It's a little bit on the large side, but we'll deal with that in a minute. Let's click OK. There we have our new image. Now I'm just going to minimize. Actually, I just don't want to minimize it. Let's just make it a little bit smaller so we can see what we're doing. And I'm just going to scroll to my bunny folder. So here you can see all the small bunny images that have been tweaked in Adobe Camera Raw. And again, Control A just to select all of those images in the folder. And then I'm just going to drag them over into my new document. You can see there. Let's now expand this so we've got a good clean workspace. Let's just move this over here. And you can see this X. So now actually all the layers are underneath here. So if I hit enter, you can see we will get the next image in the sequence, and then a new layer appears. So I'm just going to go through and do that. I'm just going to put the video on pause because it's just going to take a few moments to do all 70 odd images. Okay, that just took a few moments, and as you can see from our layers panel on the right here that we have all the layers from all of our images here, from the full bunny to the melted bunny. Just a last little bit of housekeeping before we get on with the animation, and that's just go up to image, image size, and we just want to make our image a little bit smaller to handle, so 600 pixels should do it, and let's just stick to 72 dpi. It's going to be very small, but just for the means of the demonstration it makes things a little bit quicker. So let's shrink that all the way down. We'll see some rather nasty qualities. Okay, there you can see it's a little bit piddly, but it will help us with the demonstration here. So now the fun part, and that's just going up to Window and opening the Animations palette, which many photographers have never ventured near. So let's just release that, and then you can see we have a timeline at the bottom here. So that's simply a case of going to this little drop down on the right here and make frames from layers. Just give it a couple of seconds and you can see that we now have all our frames in the timeline along the bottom here. We can also just reverse that if we wanted to. So if we go to reverse frames, we can have our animation playing in reverse, which is a little bit nicer with this subject matter, to build a chocolate bunny rather than destroy one. Now it's simply a case of specifying a time. So if I just go to the drop down here again and I go to select all frames, you can see that they're all highlighted there. And now if I just specify, let's just pick 0.2 seconds for the sake of this demonstration, and that's applied that transition to all of the images there. And I just can run a quick demo here, and you can see our chocolate bunny is being built in the window here. And basically that's it. We've created a simple animation. You see it's on a loop here. We made a simple animation using Photoshop. Now if we want to save that out, we are best off going down to Save for Web and Devices, and just making sure we've got a GIF file there, and then simply just a question of hitting save. And there you go, an animation made using Photoshop.